A simple Google search on the power of why yields over 4 billion results, a truly big idea if ever there was one. Asking why goes to mission, purpose, beliefs, and motive. When I'm trying to help a leadership team articulate their purpose, the most powerful question I can ask them is why? Why does this company exist above and beyond making money? Virtually every time it leads them to heartfelt statements of contribution, mission, and meaning. In almost all other circumstances, however, asking why is very unhelpful, especially when directed at subordinates or your kids. Just think about your own experience. What do you hear when your boss asks, "Why did you choose that approach?" Do you hear genuine curiosity, or do you hear, "What the hell were you thinking?" Almost certainly you hear the latter. And there's three main reasons why, and why we need to be careful with why questions. Firstly, why encourages defensiveness. When you begin a question with why, you convey a sense of judgment, even if that's not your intention. The recipient will assume that you have a problem with their approach and feel that they need to defend it. This defense could be passive in the form of avoidance, or it could be aggressive in the form of opposition. Both reactions are driven by a need for personal security, which is a default response whenever we feel judged. Secondly, why looks backward. Why questions are almost exclusively retrospective and backward looking. The intention behind why questions is usually to try and understand past actions. So it stands to reason then that the more time you spend in a conversation dominated by why questions, the less time you will spend actually constructing a path forward. Why questions may feel important and create the impression that you are learning, but they generally keep you stuck, passive, and helpless. Most importantly, why does not get to root cause. We often use why questions in the mistaken belief that we can get to the root cause of an issue, error, or problem. Now, if you were dealing with a robot, then this might be true, but human beings don't work that way. No matter how polite or well-intentioned, your why questions will feel like an interrogation, not a conversation. As such, the recipient will not be focused on solving the problem at hand. They will be focused on making sure they have a chair when the music stops. While learning from mistakes is essential, there are far more effective questions that you can use than why. Unless you are exploring purpose, you should begin your questions with how and what rather than why. And here are some examples. Instead of saying, "Why do you say that?" ask, "How did you come to that conclusion?" Instead of, "Why did you do it in that way?" ask, "What were you trying to accomplish?" Instead of, "Why is this important?" ask, "What is important about this?" Instead of, "Why has there been no progress?" ask, "How could we move forward here?" In contrast to the why questions, the what and how questions convey to the receiver that you are making a genuine attempt to understand the situation. They are devoid of judgment and they are much more forward-leaning. As such, they're much more likely to deliver you the outcomes that you seek. They are also more likely to encourage constructive cultural norms in your team, which are the hallmark of highly effective organizations. A simple mantra to embed this in your practice is why questions for purpose, but what and how questions for process.